Hello, it's lovely to meet y'all. I hope you're having a lovely day today. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Maxwell Heenan. I am a recent graduate from Savvy Coders, a U.S. Navy veteran, a business owner, and a certified world's greatest uncle. I have a love and passion for technology with a special interest for developing technology for the purpose of making things better for people and to solve real world problems. Speaking of problems, I wish to tackle a problem that is very near and dear to my heart, and that problem is being an adult. It's very hard to be an adult. Um, you know, you got bills, you got kids, health problems, work, stress, housing maintenance, vehicle maintenance, the persistent existential dread of time moving ever forward as your body decays slowly over time, leading to your inevitable demise, maintaining your social and interpersonal relationships, staying informed to be a good citizen, and the whole debacle. It's really hard. However, it's especially hard for the youth today, specifically for the people that are on the precipice of adulthood. And a lot of the critical decisions, the critical financial decisions that's going to set you on your pathway to life, is done when we are the least experienced and most financially vulnerable. And how these decisions impact our lives impact that for that, and that has huge societal consequences on the macro level, and it affects our use social and economic status, and definitely, you know, for decisions we made when we were 18. So to solve this problem, I wanted to make an application that could help address that. Now, to address this problem in an economically viable manner, I did a SWOT analysis to see if I could make an application that could assist young individuals with, as millennials like to call it, adulting. Um, in terms of SWOT, the strengths of it is the uniqueness of the app. There isn't really an app out there for adulting that consolidates all this for young adults to go through life. And um, there's a lot of utility that can be brought up for this. Like, let's say you get invited out, you can open up your app and you could schedule and check your budget at the same time to see maybe if you can or cannot afford to go to the movies with your friends that weekend and stuff like that, um, which is pretty good. Um, our opportunities is potentially partnering up with financial organizations to, link up directly to the banks and make it for a um, good app with better user experiences. Our weakness is initial learning curve that may require the user time to get acquainted to it. Also, technical glitches in it and experience because I'm fairly new at programming. Um, Threats, there's obviously data privacy concerns, increasing concerns about data privacy, especially with hacking and stuff. We definitely don't want that, and those will constantly be a threat to monitor, but hopefully we could work with other people to get that solved out. Let's talk about building the wireframes for this idea. Me personally, to get started with the wireframes, I used an application called Cridia. And as I was using Cridia, um, just looking back now, it's amazing how much learning I had to do to get everything done. Like, not only did I have to learn like about agile methodologies, as I'll get into later, but also I had to learn how to use this so I could make wireframes to make the code that I was about to learn. Um, it's very compelling to see exactly how much work goes into web development. Um, as you can see right here, I'm drawing out my user roadmap. I expect my users to go to the home page, the planner page, blog menu, check out blogs so they can learn interesting things. And I will get back into the rest of the wireframes a little bit after. Um, the main idea right here, this is an Eisenhower matrix, and you could click which button to view, and then it would change the view of your thing. So you could see like your subject matter for your schedule and the weather and all that good stuff. Um, and then like you could have a calendar plan out. Now, a user story map. The basic premise of this is that the user would end up going to the home page and they would check their things. However, if they were so inclined, they would most likely check out the blog menu, which would have the blogs, which would have information about how to be an adult. And it would teach them things about like how to tie a tie, how to change a tire, managing interpersonal relationships, business relationships, etc. All the fun things about being an adult. The last step of putting all of the product planning process was to put it all together, and we used Mural for this. It was a pretty fun app, and I enjoyed working with it. I try to have fun with it, and I'll show you how I put everything together. Now that we got all the product planning out of the way, it's time to utilize Agile. Now, for my cohort, I had the great opportunity of being Scrum Master for Team 1, Best Team, where I assisted in leading the conversation and reporting blockers to work with very talented and intelligent people. Um, Now for the capstone, I present. I present to you my capstone. It's it looks a bit intimidating at first, but overall it's pretty simple what's going on. Right here I have my index.html. This is a MVU architecture, or a single page application, and MVU stands for multi-view, whatever, and SPA stands for single page application. But essentially what's going on is we have a single HTML file that holds the basic structure of our code, and then through DOM manipulation magic, we are dynamically populating it as the user interacts with the interface. And then all of the views get aggregated into the index.html, which then gets aggregated into the store index, which then gets utilized by the root index HTML, which is where all the magic happens and all the functions. Here is where we're setting up an Axios call to talk to OpenWeather AI with a GET request. And then our response is we get our thing, we're converting it to freedom units because we're American and we don't play with the metric system that much. Going back to the HTML, if we look, we're linking over to our CSS. And our CSS is essentially saying, hey, make my capstone look very pretty. For example, right here, we're selecting the navigation, unordered list items, which essentially is going to be making up our navigation menu on the top of the web page. And stuff like that. These are our images that would be used in our blog. Going into our components, this is our footer, this is our aggregator for the footer, the main, and the nav. Right here's our environment, which has our API keys. Now, if we were to just go ahead and run the server on the local host, we can see that we are able to navigate through all our pages, our contact, if we were to fill something out. Just for something right here, we have a thing that shows a validation error, and then that means I need to put a required on my email, which I should do, but like, let's say I just don't do that, but I put Maxwell Heenan, it won't let me submit because I need to put in my name, and I can do that. In which case you'll see that I will receive an email from FormSpree. Here's where I'm getting my weather information from OpenWeather to see the stuff. I didn't have enough time to do the views as I initially planned for, but that is going to be a part of my future development as I continue to work with this. Now, in terms of future state, I am going to be adding a lot more features to the web page. I'm going to continue updating the library. I'm going to be continuing to add more functionality to the site that I didn't unfortunately have time to do in the short 12 weeks to make minimal viable product. I'm going to continue using agile learning and growing from the mistakes. Biggest points, I'm probably going to add a couple more APIs to add a little bit more interconnectivity, add a bit more CSS. I might change up the architecture. I will definitely, now that I'm allowed to, be switching over to React.js to make it a little bit easier so that the functions won't be as numerous or complicated. wishful thinking, to build upon that. I do have to say I am pretty proud of what I've accomplished thus far. Um, it was a pretty tough journey, a lot of struggles, especially with troubleshooting and debugging. Um, that's probably the hardest part about programming is the debugging. But um, I'm pretty proud for what I've been able to accomplish thus far. To grow, to learn so much in such a short amount of time is really something. Um, pretty, but anyways, thank you for watching. Hope you have a nice day.